Plus. A yellow cake this firm could only be from scratch.
It's Pillsbury Plus.
A cake this moist could only be from scratch. A cake this rich could only be from scratch.
It's Pillsbury Plus. The plus is pudding. Pudding right in the mix to add that moistness.
Rich flavor. New Pillsbury looks like scratch has met its match.
What's new under the sun? Malibu Barbie.
She's Mattel's super new suntanned Barbie.
Barbie's got a golden tan now. With sunny surfer gold hair.
Malibu Barbie has her own beach towel and sunglasses and Malibu friends, all with that suntan skin that makes them look great wherever they go.
Barbie, they're what's new under the sun.
Malibu Barbie, Francie, and Skipper, they're the Sunset. Dolls and other costumes sold separately.
Centauri.
Now you can get your own rock scene together with the groovy new Rock Flowers from Mattel. 3 out-of-sight fashion dolls dressed in wild rock costumes with a real record and a posing stand for each one, so she can twirl on any short spindle record player. And look, you can buy these exciting rock fashions to dress and pose them in. The new Rock Flowers. Each comes with her own costume, posing stand, and Rock Flowers record. Dolls and other costumes sold separately.
When entering the world of art, you'd be smart to dress the part. Gentlemen prefer Hanes, with all the ladies draped in crepe. The artist loves the human shape. Gentlemen prefer Hanes. Hanes will make you smooth and silky, shapely, sexy. Wear a pair and you could be captured for posterity. Gentlemen prefer Hanes.
I found a recipe you won't find in a cookbook, but it's sure nutritious and a real money saver, too. Take a quart of Carnation Instant Non-Fat Dry Milk. Add a quart of whole milk. Mix, chill, and serve. You get 2 quarts of fresh-tasting, low-fat milk and make a real savings on your milk bill. Carnation Instant Milk. Good for you and your budget, too.
Now, here is a corn lover, and there's nothing more gratifying to a corn lover than to know that her mother has given her delicious Del Monte family-style corn. More people eat it than any other corn like it. This is a special strain developed to be sweet and tender. And when a corn lover is eating Del Monte corn, she probably doesn't need to hear me talking about how good it is, right? Well, then I'm just going to go into the living room and talk about corn to the sofa.
Nothing's too good for Daddy and me. Mom brings Del Monte home.
Purina Puppy Chow helps little puppies grow into big puppies. But then its job is only half done, because even after he looks full grown on the outside, inside his muscles are still forming and his bones are still growing for about a full year. That's why he needs a full year of the extra nutrition in Puppy Chow.
Puppy Chow for a full year till he's full grown.
This is a cubic foot. There are 5 more of these inside the new Chevrolet than there are inside this year's older style full-size cars of Chevy's nearest sales competitor. That's based on U.S. government estimates of vehicle interior size as reported in the 1977 EPA Guide for New Car Buyers. The new Chevrolet with 5 more cubic feet of room. It stacks up beautifully. Now that's more like it.
Nervous is meeting your boyfriend's family.
All 16 of them?
Nervous is why there's new Soft and Dry.
Soft and Dry roll-on. Nothing keeps you drier when you're nervous.
Nervous is taking your driver's test for the 4th time.
Nervous is why there's new Soft and Dry.
Nothing keeps you drier, yet it never stings most girls, even after shaving.
My fellow classmates.
Nervous is why there's new Soft and Dry.
9 Lives presents Morris.
Don't you love our vacation slide?
I've seen better pictures on cave walls.
That's you by the cactus.
Which is which?
Intermission, din din.
You go, I'll save your seat.
Don't be finicky, it's 9 Lives.
I can picture that.
Liver chopped platter.
9 Lives chopped platter.
9 Lives, nutritious foods cats will really like, even Morris.
Get a close-up of this, 9 Lives.
Come on, you guys. The sun's already up. It's going to be a golden day.
Let's eat!
Oh, those golden grahams. Oh, those golden grahams. Crispy, crunchy graham cereal, family breakfast treat. Oh, those golden grahams. Oh, those golden grahams. Golden honey, just a touch with Graham's golden wheat.
It's a great tasting part of a complete breakfast for the whole family.
Try those golden grahams and have a golden day. When Lipton blows the whistle, you gotta have a cup of tea. Listen to the Lipton whistle. Whisk, whisk, whisk. Lipton tea.
Lipton flow-through tea bags, like 2 bags of flavor in one.
And now my mom, the world's greatest chicken fixer, thanks to Wesson Oil. Hit it, Mom!
If you could see through yours like I can see through mine, well then you'd be frying chicken just as light as mine.
Light, because each drop of Wesson is filtered 24 times to make Wesson cook as light as it looks. Just wait till they taste your chicken.
It's the see-through cooking oil.
Wesson cooks as light as it looks.
It's less than 2 feet wide. And it rolls on casters. It attaches to the faucet, so you can have water to wash your clothes. And it rolls on casters. It has 2 speeds, and it rolls on casters. It has 4 cycles. And it rolls on casters. But the nicest thing about this Whirlpool automatic washer is that you can have it installed permanently. And then it doesn't roll on casters.
What a time for Ella to be away.
What do we eat, Dad? Are you going to cook?
Yeah, sure, I'm gonna cook.
You? Oh, no. But what's for dinner?
Let's see. We've got fried chicken, turkey, Salisbury steak. Not bad.
Banquet uses many of the same good foods you might buy yourself. And Banquet is just as concerned about value as you are.
Well, Dad, you did it.
Sweetheart, there's nothing I can't do.
Banquet frozen dinners.
Look, when it comes to coffee, I don't take any chances. I use MJB. Now, heaven knows, some of my friends don't really know the difference. I mean, to them, coffee is just something to drink. But I like coffee. I mean, I really get disappointed if it doesn't taste good. So I have to use MJB. Because somehow it always tastes good when it should. And I'm not the greatest cook in the world.
This Schick styler works so fast, you know what they call it? The speed styler. And look what else it has. A concentrator for those tough-to-dry places. And it's fast.
3 drying speeds for easier styling. And it's fast. Special brush for blow drying. And it's fast.
Plus styling mist for control. And 2 combs for fluffy curls. Wow, Schick gives you the most to work with, and it's so fast. Schick calls it the speed styler. Get one.
Good morning, America. Come join us for breakfast.
You're the one. We're fixing breakfast for you.
McDonald's, we're fixing a hot, delicious breakfast just for you. Fresh scrambled eggs, hot cakes and sausage, our own Egg McMuffin, lots of Danish pastries. Try them.
At McDonald's.
We do it all for you.
This is Messy Marvin. His room is a mess. His clothes are a mess. The only time he doesn't make a mess is when he makes his chocolate milk. He uses good old-fashioned Hershey syrup in the brand new squeeze bottle. Rich, delicious chocolate flavor that only Hershey can deliver without making a mess.
Delicious.
Marvin?
Good old Hershey syrup in a no-mess bottle.
May I help you, sir?
If I wanted a Whopper and asked you to hold the pickles and hold the lettuce, would I get to hear you sing?
No, sir. You'd get to hear us sing.
Hold the pickle, hold the lettuce, special orders, don't upset us. All we ask is that you let us serve it your way.
Hey, you got one big hit.
Well, the Whopper's one big hamburger.
Have it your way. Come on now, have it your way.
This is a Domino's Pizza store, a store of pizza specialists. Pizza is the only thing Domino's Pizza makes. It enables them to do it right, starting with the freshest ingredients. Nothing is ever frozen, dehydrated, processed, or powdered. It's a wholesome, nutritious meal in itself. For hot, friendly, fast delivery, call Domino's Pizza.
Check your Yellow Pages directory for the Domino's Pizza store near you, limited delivery area.
Start with our golden macaroni made from special durum wheat. Boil for 7 minutes. Drain and add the flavor of sharp aged cheddar. Kraft makes it all so easy. Now take credit for a home-cooked family favorite that costs only pennies a serving. No wonder it's America's favorite packaged dinner. Kraft macaroni and cheese. A great idea for good cooks on a budget.
Lucy, let me borrow your shampoo.
What a roommate. Can't you ever buy your own stuff?
Well, Lucy, I'm not exactly dressed to go to the store right now.
How convenient.
Head and Shoulders. I know it really works against your dandruff, but what about my gorgeous hair?
Your gorgeous hair will love it. You know, it is the best-selling shampoo in America.
Best-selling dandruff shampoo, you mean?
Best-selling shampoo of any kind. Because it hates your dandruff, but it also loves your hair. I use it regularly.
Well, smells okay. Some kind of lather, too. Know what I think?
You think you look adorable.
Not just that, hon. I think your shampoo did a terrific sexy number on my hair. I love it.
I'm glad. Now you could buy the Head and Shoulders. We're out.
Okay. Can I borrow some money?
Head and Shoulders. Hates your dandruff. Loves your hair.
2 bright dessert ideas from Betty Crocker. First of all, just one Betty Crocker Devil's Food cake will convince you it tastes better than any other Devil's Food mix. Tastes richer and moister. Bake one yourself and see. Second, Betty Crocker Creamy Frostings. Besides making great frostings, you can make homemade candy from them too, like fudge. Easy candy recipes on every box. Betty Crocker Cakes and Frostings. Try one or 2.
Happy Endings, brought to you by Jell-O brand gelatin.
Cheesecake.
You said you were being the sales manager.
He always says no to dessert. He says dessert fills you up and slows you down.
Well, he won't say no to Jell-O gelatin.
Looks good. You sure it isn't filling?
Positive.
Fabulous dessert.
Thank you.
Light yet so delicious. I see how you keep on your toes, Turner.
Sweetheart, you're the best.
So for happy endings, don't say no, say Jell-O gelatin.
When Twinkle Toes Tilly accidentally tripped, she dropped chocolate pudding into a bowl of Cool Whip non-dairy whipped topping and got an idea. Her family loved the new dessert she called Pudding Puzzle. Now there's layered pound cake cover-up, gelatin jumble, and whenever there's a crash in the kitchen, everyone expects a new dessert. Cool Whip. It's a lot more than a topping.
At Tim Hortons, there are a lot of good reasons to stop for coffee and donuts, like chocolate dipped donuts, orange twists, donuts with whipped cream, honey crullers, famous Tim Horton Dutchies, and more. Of course, Tim Hortons service is always friendly and efficient. We're open 7 days a week, and the coffee is great. Yes, at Tim Hortons, there are a lot of good reasons to stop for coffee and donuts. But most of all, you meet the happiest people.
Bowling sure makes me hot and thirsty.
This is a job for Kool-Aid. Hey, Kool-Aid!
Oh, yeah! Kool-Aid here, bringing you fun. Kool-Aid's got thirst on the run. Get a big, wide, happy ear to ear. Kool-Aid smile, 'cause the biggest smile is a Kool-Aid smile. A Kool-Aid smile, a Kool-Aid smile.
Your friend's cool.
My friend's Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid brand soft drink.
Your kids will love McDonald's Happy Meal. It's food and fun in a box. It's a hamburger or cheeseburger, regular-sized fries, regular-sized soft drink, and a McDonaldland cookie sampler. It all comes in a Happy Meal box with games, puzzles, jokes, and a prize.
A prize?
It's a hamburger or cheeseburger, regular-sized fries, regular-sized soft drink, a McDonaldland cookie sampler with games, puzzles, jokes, and a prize.
I've got a Happy Meal.
Nobody can do it like McDonald's can.
In an old trail town, there was a gang of dirty guys they called the Bathtub Ring. Their boss was Dirty Bert. He'd plaster kids with dirt. He was having a real wild fling. Mr. Bubble called him out. Dirty Bert wheeled about and saw our hero swing. He got Bert roped and tied. He scrubbed Bert's dirty hide. And he cleaned up the bathtub ring. Take a bath with Mr. Bubble and give Dirty Bert a lot of trouble.
Say hello to Poppin' Fresh Joe. It's such a nice feeling to make something fresh.
Poppin' Fresh Danish Rolls. Danish rolls just taste better when you bake them up fresh and hot. Try Pillsbury Danish in the dairy case.
It's such a nice feeling. Get to know Poppin' Fresh Joe.
All right, we are live.
Hello.
What's up, everybody?
Hello.
The world outside of Salyersville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
We got your host, Big Tony Allen, Big Wolf, Don Montgomery, producer Big John Howard. We are live. We got
We're barely live.
Barely live.
Speak for yourself.
Some of us is live and some of us is barely alive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I ain't pointing nobody out. You know?
No. I've got 911 on speed dial.
Oh, shoot. We're going to get one of those life alerts.
Don used to tell me all the time, he said, I'm sicker than a fat dog.
Them was the good old days.
Oh, well, we got... Go ahead.
How's everybody out there doing tonight? We're trying to come to you about every other Wednesday, every 2 Wednesdays. Of course, everybody's got a gazillion things to do, so we're doing the best we can to... Everybody, loves this and wants more of it. And we're
bringing it.
And we thank God for being able to do it.
Thank God to be able to be alive.
I sure
Lord
do.
Have mercy.
He's been good to me. I know that.
You never know when's your last day here on earth. That's
true.
Yeah, that's right.
But we want to shout out some of our sponsors. I know we got Creekside Feed and Stitching, pig feed, hog feed, chicken feed, hats, T-shirts. They make you anything that you want over there. They got free bubble gum, grape pop, whatever you want. They've got it.
At Creekside, then you got Tracked Outdoors.
Tracked Outdoors, our buddy Jay out there deer hunting.
Oh, yeah, so he burns it up, don't he? And we're going to talk about deer hunting tonight, even though Jay is supposed to be here one of these days.
Got some deer hunting to talk about.
I'm going to tell y'all something that happened to me. You probably won't believe it. Talking about 911. I bet I'm the only one here that ever called 911 and got put on hold. I promise you I did.
Right.
They said, can you hold on? I said, well, okay. That's the truth. The arm's on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we guys, we got some great sponsors out there. Like I said, y'all check these people out. We mention them out here. They help us out on this. Please like, share this, get it out there so we can...
and remember the famous Farmhouse Diner.
Yeah, listen, we got
pizzeria.
The famous.
The greatest food and the greatest prices. Now, me and Tony, we took a side show a while ago and stopped by Long John Silver's. And it cost us for 2 little meals, 2 little plates,
right at
$29.
Yeah.
For 6 little bitty pieces of fish and a little coleslaw and some waffle fries. And you can get all you want to eat here for $13,
Yeah, that's including the drink down here.
Yeah,
All you can eat
come on down
for $13.
and a lot better food.
And like I said, if you don't want to eat, just come down and hang out with us. You come by any day, and there's a crowd down here. Everybody sitting around whittling and swapping and dealing and having a big time. We have a good time down here. It's we're here every day, all day. I had to go over to the shoe show, get me some tennis shoes.
Yeah.
Shoe show.
Yeah. Well, that's the only place I know to get shoes, and I tried on a 14. And the 14 was too little. Now, Don said that won't work. It's too little. I said, okay, Don. So then, he was checking me out. He reached down, felt of them, checked there. It won't work now. It's too little. I said, okay, Don.
I'm a shoe guy, I'm like...
then I went with a 14 triple E. And when I put that 14 triple E on...
He smiled.
Kind of like baby bear soup. You know what I'm saying? But
he
that's
smiled.
What we've been doing today. Of course, we deliver Amazon packages also. We got a gazillion things going on.
Oh, yeah.
And
we got the Appalachian TCG card store.
Got the Appalachian TCG card store hanging down here. Got any kind of, if you're a card player and a collector.
It's big.
John's got me in the habit of
cracking packs,
buying these Pokemon cards and trying to get. And I hit a $20 Pokemon card the other day.
So you did. Cool. We're going to have a rook tournament too, guys.
Oh, yeah. I was telling the boys about that today. So what we plan on doing is having a big rook tournament. We'll have an entry fee, and John's going to host it. He'll be the rules buyer. We're going to put up cameras everywhere for all these shifty rook players.
Oh, yeah. We gotta get some.
See if there's any signing or any of that silliness going on. But, yeah, we're going to have a big rook tournament down here. We got a lot going on. As it gets colder, we'll be doing things a little different. Of course, it'll come with our chilies and our vegetable soups and all that good stuff as the weather changes. Hunting season coming in, a lot going on.
Oh, yeah. It's time of year.
What you got for us tonight, John? What do you think? Where we going to start at tonight with our...
Let's see. We got... we're going to talk a little bit about deer hunting. Of course, I don't know nothing about it because I've never been in my life.
Never been deer hunting?
Never been deer hunting.
Well,
Never. I know that's weird for a country boy, but I've never went deer hunting. I've been squirrel hunting, but I've never went deer hunting.
I've hunted so much I'm about out of the mood to anymore. Yeah. So
I've played.
Where'd that go?
I've played deer hunter.
No, you don't like buck hunter?
Buck. I played buck hunter, deer hunter.
Yeah, but you've never been actually deer hunting.
No, so like you guys are gonna have to just run with it when it comes to favorite deer rifles and stuff. I have
favorite deer rifles. Well, I would have to say, guys, get on here and engage. If you know anything about deer hunting, give us some comments. Share, get this out. Favorite deer rifle. Well, the best deer rifle for this part of the neck of the woods is a 30-30, a good brush gun. Probably, as far as you're going to be able to shoot a deer around here, would be a 30-30 would be proficient. I like a 308. I like a 308. I'll let you have one of the nicest 308 pump 572 Remingtons. God, it's a nice rifle.
It was really nice.
That's been 25 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
What's the most
30-06 caliber?
The gun you've killed the most deer with?
The gun that has killed the most deer is definitely the 30-30.
Yeah, I'm probably most people hunt with 30-06 all around big game gun.
Yeah.
But I like a 308 caliber, but everybody's got their own thing.
Well, you're the one got me on the 308 calibers,
yeah,
if I remember right. But yeah, as far as like the gun that's killed the most deer in eastern Kentucky, by far would be.
Is that the one you've killed the most deer with?
No, but by far it would be a 30-30.
I'd like to get one.
Would you agree with that, Don?
Yeah, but I've killed the most with 30-06.
Some of the people on here want to hear about your Michigan deer hunting stories when you used to go to Michigan and deer hunt.
Yeah. That was back in the day when I really looked forward to stuff. I don't look forward to anything anymore, hardly. But every November 15th, it opened up in Michigan, and me and my dear departed brother-in-law, Clyde Jr. Hurd, we would go and stay with his brother up there, and it was just something I couldn't sleep from about this time on, or maybe earlier. We look forward to that so much. Where I killed my first deer, Stockbridge, Michigan. It was just a great thing, and everybody looked forward to it. Everybody's interested in it. That's all you talked about. Everybody just lived for it, kind of like Kentucky basketball. But had a lot of great memories up there, and stayed with his brother Richard. He's also dead. He's a great friend and a great guy. And they just treated us so good, and we enjoyed that so much. And it was just it was an event, for us, because there were no deer here then. Seeing a deer back in the 70s in this part of the country was probably like seeing a bear now, or less. Yeah. They just weren't.
I'd say so. Well, even to the 90s.
Right.
I mean, even when I was a youngster, nowadays you drive up Craft Creek and you're ping-ponging and dodging them. When I was a youngster, once in a great while during rabbit season, you'd be hunting way over in Big Caney, and you'd jump a deer. Once in a great while, you'd have a beagle, jump a deer. Mm-hmm. Now, deer are so prominent, and I've noticed it. I talk about it all the time. Me and my cousin Hut talk about it. With the beagles, you can't get them to run them. They won't run them. You loose them on them, son, hiss them. They just like they ain't nothing there because they smell them so much. Yeah. They're so prevalent. I'm a down to break one.
And I was a young kid, in the crowd up there, and they'd all the time joking me with stuff. They'd put me in the back of the truck 0 morning and say, "We won't let you shoot out of the back of the truck," and my gun be loaded with chapsticks or something, that they give me. They'd roll out the end of the barrel. It's fun.
I'd like to get if I was ever to go hunting, I'd try to do it with a compound bow. I think.
Me and Tony,
I think it'd be cool.
That would be.
I don't know why. Just like a something primal about it. Maybe I don't know.
You can do that.
Well, a lot of people, man. I mean, a lot of people nowadays are archery only. I mean, they don't. They won't even hunt. Hey, by the way, and I wanted to give him a shout out. There's a young man right here in McGoffin County that is the world champion archer.
Think of that.
World champion. Now, not state champion,
and
world
he's a Montgomery.
Champion. And he's a Montgomery.
What can I tell you?
He's a Montgomery.
Carrying on the
Let's
lineage,
see, I think I'm about a quarter or an eighth Montgomery. You're a half Montgomery, and you're a half Montgomery. So
at least a half,
right You're half Montgomery, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Montgomerys and Hards, you can't get away from them in this county.
No, they're they used to say them old timers. You say them arnets down there, they like the crabgrass. They think.
And a lot of arnets. Yeah.
But anyway, the big joke was back when we was kids. Of course, me and Hud Allen was just talking about this the other day. A phone book. Nobody hardly has one anymore because there's not many landlines. But used to. When we were kids, it was a big thing to open up the phone book and look at everybody's last name and see where all the last names was. Well, you had to go through Arnett before you got to Allen. And I mean, Arnett, Arnett was first and then Allen. Allen was first and then Arnett. But anyway, there was hundreds of Arnetts. Then you get over to Hurd, and it's wild, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And me and my buddy Mew and my neighbor Stanley was having a discussion on this the other day. They have determined that the Craft Creek herds, the Bloomington herds, they're all the same herds if you go back far enough.
Well, I'd say it's right in this county. Yeah. Everybody's kin,
And the ones that Don is mentioning, as in Richard and Clyde Jr., that's Craft Creek herds.
And they're also half Montgomery.
And they're half Montgomery, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good story on deer camp. So all of us boys, we was young, we said we was going to have deer camp. And we camped out, son, and we froze to death. If that been for me a spoon and my cousin Cody, I would have froze to death.
I was on that trip with him.
Yeah, he puts off a lot of heat. And we was in a tent, and like I said, Cody's he's a warm-like feller, and I was drinking, and me and him was in a tent together. Well, every time son he'd all night long, he'd try to get away from me, and I'd reach and snatch him, because he was so warm. And we was freezing to death. It's probably, I'm going to say what, Don, in the 30s?
Oh, it's colder than that.
Of course, Don, he was old and decrepit, so he got the camper with the gas heater, and the rest of us was out there in tents,
Freezing to death.
So we get up the next morning, and we're sick, hungover, and
He comes out barefooted down this frost on the grass a crunching. Go ahead.
But anyway, so they said I come out and the steam just rolling, where it's so cold. But so we hear Dad, old Chub Allen, he's down off the hill and we're on top. And we hear him far up that old Toyota, around through here, and we're listening to him, and he parks. Well, it goes about 30 minutes. Boom, boom. We hear this gun go off. I said, well, Lord have mercy. I said, he fell asleep and shot the gun through the truck or something, Because Dad had that sleep apnea, and he couldn't hold his head up for 10 minutes at no time.
Yeah.
So we all head around through here, and I'm telling you what, he comes to us. Boys, I've killed a big one. He said, it's over the hill here. You're going to have to go get it. And I said, Dad, I said, seriously, son. I said, you ain't killed. I told you I've killed a deer. I said, all right. So we go around here, and we track it over the bank, and here it lays, pretty good buck. I said, this beats anything I've ever seen. I said, Dad, I want to ask you. Don't lie to me. I said, how'd you kill it? No, son, I'll tell you. I laid up there in his cold. I had the heat to go on the truck around, son, and I got a little warm, and I rolled the window down, shut the truck off. I fell asleep, son. I was like, I fell asleep. He said, that sorry thing blowed over. Walked up to the window, son, and blowed at me and started at me and woke me up. And he said, I rolled, boom. He said, that's what it done now.
I guarantee that's what happened. Yeah. Tony gets out by the far, and Chris Russell, he was with us. And he said, oh, Tony, you're on far. And Tony said, I know, man. He give it that, Tony doesn't. He's no, I mean, you're on far. His britchy leg was on far. Boots was on far.
But that was some rough times.
I never did go to a deer camp.
Well, it's not for the faint of heart. Yeah, that was some good memories. But anyway, I don't know what's happened with the deer population in McGoffin County, but it has gone, in my lifetime, from nearly nothing to
so
absolutely
can't
drive the roads. And I remember,
ridiculous.
it's like Michigan, I remember my people in Michigan always had to carry a special insurance because they hit so many deer. Every time you talk to them, they's a hitting a deer up in Michigan. And nowadays, it's like that here, It's where I'm trying to teach my daughter to drive, and that's our biggest fear is a deer running out in front of her.
Yeah.
So
I've seen them come from the side of the hill, and not even like in the road, and they'll come out and they'll just dart off. I don't know what.
Somebody has commented that Tony's killed more with a 22 after dark than any other.
There was a time in my life when I was a young man that I was a really good shot with a 22 rifle.
Yeah,
I could see good, and I can't see now. You say I got my cheaters, but I was a good shot with a 22 rifle. Let me say that.
Yeah, night or day.
We'll leave it at that. I could shoot a 22. I used to go to my cousin Ralph Allen's, and Ralph Allen was always a good rifle shot, and he had a persimmon tree in his front yard. And he'd say, I bet you $2 I can bust more persimmons than you can with a 22 rifle. Now, no scope now. This is by our sights. I said, well, you can't. You got sugar. I said, I aggravated him. He had sugar. I said, your eyesight ain't no good. You old, son. I said, I can beat you. And now, listen, I could beat him some, but he shot me shot for shot, brother. He was tough at it now.
Yeah.
He sure was. And he could shoot a 22, but I could shoot open iron sights real good. I could see. I can't see now. And I'm still pretty good with a shotgun because, a shotgun's a whole different scenario. But
well,
now,
we've talked up a big rabbit hunt coming up.
We're going rabbit hunting, yeah.
I've not been rabbit hunting in years.
Yeah, we're going. Oh, yeah, we're going. Well, the way we're going to do it, we're going to go with the morning, hunt half the day, build a fire and cook, and then hunt the rest of the day till dark. I think that's our plan. But the bad part about that is I've just got one dog, but now she's tough. I don't know if she'll stand it or not.
Well, we just eat more than we hunt.
Yeah. She's tough. She's tougher than Wang Leather, that dog is. She's nervy, so she'll be all right.
Yeah, Wang Leather. Yeah. That's a
Wang
good
Leather,
word.
Don. You know what that means. Tell the beautiful people what that means.
Wang Leather, that's just the leather that's just tougher than the rest. That's a shoe tongue leather. It's on a cow. It's the one that's dried and
it's an old Appalachian saying.
Yeah, Wang Leather. That's the toughest leather you can get.
And of course, in the famous words of Miss Amanda Allen, tougher than a yellow toenail. That's what she said.
Oh, yeah. They're tough, boys. Yeah.
What else we got going on, Big John, tonight? We've told some funny hunting stories.
Yeah.
I can tell you all kinds of funny hunting stories. We was one comes to mind. Well, I've got a lot of good ones. Some of them ain't fit to talk on, but time I talked Dougie into wiping his hind end with poison ivy leaves. That's a classic.
Big classic.
He was highly allergic to poison ivy. When at the time when you're doing little stuff like that, you don't think about the consequences. Son, his eyeballs swelled shut. I mean, terrible allergic. Well, he had to go get shots, and Dad wasn't real happy at me about that. I remember that.
Have we got any coffee up there?
I remember we might have. Me and Dougie went squirrel hunting one time, and bless his heart, I can tell you all kinds of stories about me and Dougie. Bless his heart, all he wanted to do was smoke.
Who?
And cough. Dougie.
Oh.
He'd smoke one, then he'd cough a while. He'd smoke one, then he'd cough a while.
I don't know if there's any answer.
He'd smoke one, then he'd cough a while. I said, son, we ain't never going to kill a squirrel if you don't be quiet. I said, you can't kill a squirrel like this.
That's what somebody told me when I went squirrel hunting. They said I wouldn't hush.
Yeah, you got to. I mean,
I got to be quiet. Then he ran off with the gun, and I kept some squirrels everywhere.
One time, this was last year, me and all the boys was hunting, and some of the boys, if they're on here watching, they'll remember this. And I headed through this little briar patch, and I was a-talking. My cousin Hut was up on the hill above me, and he was a-talking to me, and I said, there ought to be a rabbit in this briar patch. I'm going to bust through here.
Yeah.
See if I can flush one out. He said, yeah. So I took about 2 steps, and kafoosh. I mean, out of sight. Well, I landed on my feet. But it was so deep that they couldn't see me. My head wasn't popping up above the hole. And Tony, and him a cussing, where you at? What happened to you? Did you lay down? I said, son, I'm hung in a hole. I said, give me a minute. Let me crawl out of here.
Yeah.
But here he come charging down the hill,
Oh, yeah.
So you'll have all kinds of crazy stuff happen in the woods.
The leaves are getting pretty on the ridge.
Oh, man, it is. Yeah, it's beautiful
Probably
out
have to
right
take us
now.
a ride back there,
Me and Don had to go over to Paintsville because I asked Don to ride with me because my feet's killing me, the bottoms of my feet, so I had to get me a new pair of shoes. I told you that. But anyway, on the way back, we was noticing how pretty the leaves was, and Don was real impressed with my defensive driving skills. We talked about that. I'm a very defensive driver.
Defensive driver?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I ain't saying I can't have an accident because anything's possible, but it's hard to get me.
He's always looking for the other person.
You got to watch for everybody else. You ain't got to worry about your driving.
He's a very courteous driver.
Yeah.
I notice stuff like that because I drove so much,
Yeah, I'm all the time looking. Listen, if I see a truck like out in front of me on the side of the road like it's wanting to come, I'll slow down and let them come. But then before I slow down and let them come, I look in my rear view to make sure somebody ain't going to go up my back end.
I noticed that. I surely did.
That's defensive driving. You try to keep everybody driving defensive and make sure you don't get killed. And I try to teach that to my child. She's going to be driving pretty soon, and that's why I think Amanda wants me to.
He calls me. I'm relaxed on the recliner, and let's go to Paintsville. And I said okay, and then I got to thinking. I said, in this small town, everybody wants to get out of a small town. You hear songs about it, and one horse town, this and that, but there's a lot of good stuff in a small town. I got to think, that's where my mind went. I said, a person never have to be lonely here in this county or whatever, because you've always got somebody you can call that'll go to Walmart with you.
Oh yeah.
You never have to do nothing by yourself.
Yeah.
That's a little deep, but
that's what you're right. That's what we was talking about. And that's why we love it down here so good, because there's always somebody, like whether I'm working on something down here.
I got to run out of the wood court, and they said, but yellow jackets, they chased me all the way out of the holler and into the house, and hit the screen door behind me. They run me till I was killed. 11,
I've had them
12 stings,
Oh, yeah, they
my shirt.
And that brings up another thing, how bad they are this year.
Oh, they're the worst I've ever seen, but now you know why.
I've already researched it.
Yeah, Don knows why the Yellow Jackets, guys. Share this out, because Don Montgomery knows why the Yellow Jackets are so bad this year.
Hit that like button, hit the share button. It really helps if you want to help out the show.
It is the drought.
The drought.
The queen bees are just laying thousands of eggs because it's hot and dry. And they're leaving the nest and making other nests, and they're making more nests. And we got 2 kinds here. I can't remember what one of them is. But one's called the Southern Yellow Jacket. One of them likes sweet stuff, and the other likes food, blood, meat, like stuff like that. and it's the drought. So that's the bottom line.
What about the ladybugs? Where are they? I hate those things.
They just what they are, They
I hate ladybugs.
Actually, I read years ago, those are not ladybugs. They're some kind of invasive species, if I understand correctly, that was brought over
for the kudzu,
the kudzu vines. They were brought over to eat, and I think about local to me, and you probably, like up when you go up Craft Creek and you look over to the old Carty Branch Church that used to be a schoolhouse, you see all kinds of kudzu vines. And they were supposedly brought in to kill out the kudzu.
I would love to hear that story. Doug put wasp underneath your blanket. You got to tell this.
Well, it's cold. We didn't have good heat. And I had a half bed.
So he was playing a prank on you.
Yeah, that big old. We had a window, and we had a wasp nest that hung right out that window. And that idiot took a jar and put it over that wasp nest, and they flew in there, and then he capped the lid on. Well, we had big old heavy. I know you know them. The old timers would make their quilts. It's called a tack quilt, and they'd make it out of blue jean and denim patches.
Well, it was heavy,
and it was heavy.
Yeah.
They was heavy, and you would quilt the bottom of it with an old sheet. Don, you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. And they were called tack quilts, and they didn't actually quilt them; they tacked them.
I've got one.
I've got one too. But anyway, he thought it'd be a good idea to loose them under my blankets, and he put the blankets back up. So it was cold. So back then you jumped into bed. You didn't mess around because you was cold.
Yeah.
And I jumped in the bed, and they hit me simultaneously about 7 times. And I come out there, and he had traded for a little black and white TV. I come out there, and I realized I pulled them covers back. Some of them things started flying. I know what he had done,
Yeah.
I grabbed his black and white TV and busted it, and Dad come in there and whooped us both. That was a good story. Whooped us with a belt. And listen, Dad he'd peck on that wall because we'd be goofing around. He'd, hush, boys, hush. We wouldn't, we'd set back in. He'd come in there in his underwear. Dad always slept in his whitey-tighties, God love him. And he'd come in there with his underwear.
Yeah.
And he'd beat them covers, but we had them big, thick covers. He never did get us, but he'd swarp them covers till he got out of wind. Then he'd go back to bed, and we'd set in again.
I've been working on a vehicle. I was almost late. I never even washed my hand.
Yeah, he's been a mechanic in this evening. Guys, we do it all down here. We mechanic, we plumb. We got Ronnie Montgomery helps us do everything. We couldn't make it without Ronnie. Listen, I'll be honest with you. We could not make it.
Ain't he?
We couldn't make it without Ronnie down here. He's whatever me and Don's into, Ronnie's into it with us.
Oh yeah, we call him.
If you call him, say Ronnie, let's go. All right, boys, he'll come down. Let's turn him loose.
He can do stuff.
He can do about anything. Ronnie can. Plumbing, mechanicking. There may be a time you come down here and you'll see us with a vehicle pulled up. We'll be changing the plugs and wires. We do it all down here. It's just your one-stop shop. Good food, home-cooked food, pizza, burgers, that sort of food. Yeah. We deliver Amazon packages.
Yeah.
We got a card shop.
Oh, yeah.
We got Don the Wolf Montgomery, mobile mechanic.
Crochet.
We got
crocheted items.
Yeah, old school crochet stuff. We got a little bit of everything up here.
Yeah. We'll have to start putting some whittling items up.
Well, I whittle toothpicks.
There's a lot of
I make toothpicks.
A lot of whittling goes on.
I made 4 today out of cedar.
We got the legendary Paul Michael Marshall. We call him Grizz Hunter.
Yeah.
And he watches,
Wendell Hoskins.
Guess what I watched last night?
Allen.
HF.
Guess what I watched last night?
Jeremiah Johnson.
Support your local sheriff.
Oh, yeah. What a classic. And James Garner.
That poor girl, she was trying to impress. She struck on him heavy, He said, Miss Prudy was her name. He said, Miss Prudy? He said, you're the most peculiar girl I've ever met.
And one-eyed Jack Elam.
Yeah, one-eyed bad Jack. Yeah, they trying to find gold. And he said, now, we're going to have to split this up if we find any gold. And old One-Eye said, we'd do like 60-40. And old One-Eye said, 60 for who and 40 for who? Yeah. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
So, John, what you got going on new? You got any stories for us tonight?
I ain't got nothing new going on.
You got any good funny stories about Yellow Jackets or pests or...
They ain't nothing funny. It's all miserable.
Yeah. Well, you ever killed a snake in your house, anything like that?
I just stopped one the other day. You remember that little gardener snake? I walked in the house and that little snake, I thought it was a worm. I was like, what in the world is that? That's the weirdest looking worm I ever seen. Is it a little baby snake like that big or something?
Oh, you got to watch them.
I don't know if you can be a true Appalachian American without killing a snake in your house.
I don't think so.
No, that's
that has to be like one of our rules. Like, you have to check that box.
It's a rite of passage, yeah.
Rite of passage.
My buddy Chris Mule Howard's been coming over and hunting with me, son. We was back there on the ridge of hunting. He said, I've been seeing all them rattlesnakes you've been killing. It's cold, you know. He said, now don't let me step on a rattlesnake. I said, honey, there ain't no rattlesnake out. It's 35 degrees this morning.
Yeah.
Are you sure? I said, well, son, I'd tell you if I thought there was. I said, no, you ain't gonna see no rattlesnake this kind of weather.
Yeah, snakes. I've seen so many in the house. I don't like. They just part of it again.
Well, I dreamed of flying last night.
Flying? Where'd you go?
I was just flying around. I have that recurring dream, but it's always on my back, or it's like I levitate.
Are you flying or floating?
Floating.
Was you flying with like the never-ending story with the dog? Or?
No, it's so low, and I was afraid to go high. But it's just like I've had this recurring dream for a long time.
Did you go like?
And I feel it, and I wake up, and it's like my back of my head's hurting. I really think I'm levitating out of the bed because it's so real. It's like I just barely get off the ground. I just float around, float all over the place, and I'm afraid to get high, you know, because I'm afraid to. But last night, I really went high up, and I learned to control it more. What do you say? I
You controlling your flying?
Yeah.
Was you flapping your arms? Or
No, I'm on my back. It's like I'm laying like
well, yeah,
I'm
but you could still flap
floating.
your arms.
Well, I did. Yeah, I do that to get moving around.
yourself around like
almost run into a building, and I stopped myself.
On Nintendo Mario.
First time I've been able to do that.
When you're on the cloud and you
This is like a progressive dream. I'm getting better.
Huh. What did you eat before you went to bed, Don?
Popcorn, about the only thing I know. Like, you know.
Popcorn and milk?
No, I don't.
That milk ain't sitting right on it.
No, I don't drink milk with popcorn. Steve Hard does, Frito.
Here's a good question. That makes me think of a question. I talked to a lot of people, and I'm one of them. We all grew up drinking milk. That's about all we drunk when we was kids, every one of us around here. But now milk kills us all. Is it medication? What's causing the problem with the milk?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question, but we really just had two choices, you know, take it or leave it.
Milk or water.
When I was growing up, you know.
Yeah.
Occasional
orange Kool-Aid.
I cannot drink milk by itself.
Oh, I can't.
I hate it. I hate it.
Especially like vitamin D.
Have you ever been guilty of drinking out of the jug?
Oh,
yeah. Take a big piece of cookie or cake and
Well,
I have to have something, you know, with it. I can't drink it by itself.
Lay it to you. Lay the milk to you. So it's coming cold weather. John, you got any big crazy cold weather stories to tell us about?
It's all been scary, like almost driving and wrecking.
Well, let me ask you this: what did you do during the big ice storm like a few years ago? You remember? Do you remember it?
Oh yeah,
like for a week.
I actually had to go to school that day in Lexington, and I was driving this old F-150, and I was like on New Circle Road, and for some reason they still had class, and I just took off, and all of a sudden this like tour bus or something just whipped over, and I hit my brakes real hard, and I just went 360 right there on New Circle Road.
Wow.
Thank God there wasn't nothing around. Just 360 right back at it. Splits, yeah.
Was your foot shaking like on the gas afterward? Or?
I didn't know what to. I just like, well, I'm glad I'm not dead.
When I have close calls like that, like I drove a big truck forever, I'd have a close call and my foot would just shake. I couldn't push the clutch in. I just couldn't do it.
Like I didn't know what to do. I was like,
yeah, what do you do?
I don't know. They just whipped over. I was like, oh.
What do you do? What do you do?
Scared me to death.
I like to go down and turn tailspins in the IJ parking lot. I mean,
it's been done. It's been
now,
done.
I have been in my Jeep Wrangler going to work before, and it's
What'd you do?
off into the ditch. I put it in four-wheel drive, took back off, so that was awesome at least.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well.
I'm sort of a prepper, so I've always got, you know.
What did you do during that time?
I'm sort of a prepper. I've always got.
I stayed in. The water froze up. It was a bad time.
And kerosene lamp oils and that sort of stuff. So and believe it or not, and most of you wouldn't believe it, and I don't blame you, but I read a little bit, you know. So I just.
Well, that's two different kinds of people. You bring it up. There's preparers, preppers, and reactors.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm an all-out like nutso.
I know what you're saying though, but
I'm ready for because I grew up ahead of Craft Creek.
Yeah.
And you have to be
a bomb
ready.
shelter soon, ain't you?
No.
So are you a reactor or a preparer?
I would say I'd be a reactor more than a preparer.
Just whatever happens, you react to it.
Yeah.
You don't think about it beforehand.
Oh, I've already envisioned every bad scenario.
Oh, I know you do, because you're a
You know,
catastrophic thing.
catastrophic.
You can
yeah.
buy those like big cases of food and store it. That'll last you like years.
But here's the thing. I mean, my thoughts on the food deal is I've always got access to fresh meat. There ain't no time when I can't go out and kill a squirrel or a deer or whatever I have to eat. That's not an issue. Now, one good thing that I like about having the chickens and the quails, I got a gazillion pickled quail eggs and chicken eggs, and that'll sustain you.
Would you eat the chickens if, like, the electric went off and you...
And I was starving?
No, not starving, just...
If I was hungry?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I reckon I would.
So if the zombie apocalypse happened, we're coming to your place, right?
Well,
we're going to build a fort.
We'll eat chickens and dogs until we run out.
We got to keep people out there because they're crazy. You've watched The Walking Dead, ain't you?
I give them chickens and dogs.
They come after you.
Now, I mean, like I said, now we've had this conversation before, but it's a silly notion to me that any person, any human being would sit and starve or let their children starve and dogs worry about feeding dogs.
House dogs.
I'd eat the dogs.
The house pets.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand what the disconnect is. And like I said, I love my little dogs. I got 2 little house dogs.
That's a good question for our audience. Would you eat your house pets if you had to, if you're starving?
Tony Allen would. Before I let my child starve or I would starve to death, yes, sir, I'll cook them.
So what about these people says they're part of the family?
Well, they can be part of the family. I love my little dogs. I miss them when they're gone. But Don, I mean, what would you do, Don?
Oh, I'd eat them.
Okay, just making sure we're on the same page.
Oh,
and even my wife, she loves her little dogs a lot more than I love them, but she's not so crazy that she would let our child starve. We'd cook them things. She'd say, Tony, cook them dogs. And we'd cook them on an open fire, and we'd eat them off a spit.
Say the zombie apocalypse happens tomorrow.
Okay.
What's your first thought? Like, electricity, everything's gone out. You're, like, freaking out. People's going crazy.
I would want to die.
What, you wouldn't build a fort up
That'd be the last thing crossed my mind.
You asked me my first thought. I don't want to live through something like that. Because my thoughts on it are, if I'm having to fight other people over food, I don't want to live through that. I don't want to be there.
You'd kill your family then?
Yeah, they're coming after your family and everything. We got to fortify.
I would protect my family at all costs, but I hope that I never have to live through that. I don't want to ever have to.
Well, you know, back when Orson Welles did the war.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, and everybody thought it was real.
There was people that actually killed themselves and their whole family.
Yeah, no.
Thought it was real.
No.
So I didn't think you'd go that far with
No. I'm just saying, my point is, no. I mean, if I got to live through it, I'll have to live through it.
Have you ever watched The Walking Dead?
No.
On AMC?
No.
You'd probably like it.
No.
You wouldn't like it?
I don't like zombies and vampires and werewolves and no.
Have you ever watched The Walking Dead?
No. I'm like my wife said one time, having to live life scary enough. I don't need to be scared.
Hey, it ain't real scary, but
it's not.
It's more like you're scared of the people more than you are the zombies.
Yeah. No. I don't want to have to live through a time. And you watch these movies all the time. Like, for instance, the Left Behind series, the new one out on Netflix. We watched it. Can't remember the name of it, but anyway, all these doomsday, like apocalyptic movies.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to be alive during that.
Yeah.
No.
I'm more afraid of the
What'd you
druggies
do,
and crackheads around here than I am ghosts or zombies.
Like the law just crashes. So
what would I do
lawless all of a
if
sudden.
everything happened tomorrow? I'd sit down and think on it a few minutes, like I always do.
And I would protect my family at all costs to the end. But my point being is just that I hope I don't have to live through that. Let me put it that way.
I try to get to my family some way,
Yeah,
first thing, and then we all fight it together,
I figured Tony would be a good leader, though. Like, we would go to his place and start fortifying.
No, he'd be in the basement type guy, I think.
Well, who would be our leader then, Don? We got to find a leader that would help us fortify.
Would you want to, though? Would you want to have to live through it? I mean,
no. But what do you do?
I wouldn't want to. What's the alternative?
If you're here and you got to live through it, you do what you got to do. I mean, I got enough pickled quail eggs we can.
Paul
eat
Montgomery asked me a question there. What was left in a glass during a snow day at my house? We was playing cards and it came big snow.
Somebody peed in a glass.
And
that has to be it.
Gumby, and there's several there, and Ern Reisner, And so they left. Everybody left. And I got a phone call, and Gumby's laughing so hard that he can't tell me what it is, what's going on. And he said, we're looking for Ern's teeth. He left his teeth somewhere. So, and Ern was a character. We loved him to death. And I looked over in the window, and there in a glass, a clear glass, was his teeth. And they looked that long in that water, you know. His false teeth. I found them. Found his teeth.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
I've had a lot of stuff happen.
Some good times, but no, I mean, like I said, I want to be prepared for power outages and such, but now, no, I'm not out here doomsday prepping.
I think if it happened, Tony, you would be a leader. I think you'd be the first one to step up. Protect everybody.
Well, I'd try, you know. Like I said, I can't, but here's the bad part about it. Now listen, I'll be honest with you. And I ain't too much. When I was a young man, I could have survived it, no problem. But I've got old. I can't see good.
Well, what about me? I understand now.
You got to protect
no, wait, let me tell you. Have you seen these westerns and things, or these movies where their Indians is chasing them, or outlaws, and this one old guy says, give me the rifle, I'll hold them off before you go on? Listen, he didn't do that because he's brave. He did that like me because he can't run no more. And he give up and just said, go on.
Like
I know
like
what
old
that's
Gus
all about.
McCrae on Lonesome Dove, you know.
Yeah. That's why that happened.
Yeah.
I just realized that.
And then on Jeremiah Johnson, he runs up on that old bear hunter, and he said, I hunt grizz, Pilgrim. He said, can you skin grizz? He said, I can skin anything that walks. He said, you sure you can skin grizz? He said, I can skin anything that makes a track. And he said, mighty cocky, ain't you, Pilgrim? So he goes out here and gets a grizz at him and gets it to run him, you know, and then he runs through the cabin, and that grizz goes in the cabin. The fight's on. He got it, though. He skinned it.
That was the guy that played that was the one who played the grandpa in the Waltons.
Yeah, and the other one was Robert Redford.
Greer, something maybe. I can't remember his name. He's the one who played
Will Greer. Will Greer. Will Greer.
What'd they call him? Grandpa Walton?
Yeah, Grandpa Walton, Will Greer.
Seems like I called him something else.
Grandpa.
Well, let's circle back to the hunting. What's your favorite hunting movie?
Hunting movie?
Yeah.
Well, if you ever watched...
There was one our cousin Kurt McDaniel let me and Cody watch a long time ago.
The Deer Hunter?
No, it was funny.
No,
it had Jeff Daniels in it.
That's a Vietnam movie.
It was good.
That Deer Hunter's pretty deep.
I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, that's deep.
There's really not a lot of hunting movies, per se.
Let's see, hunting movie.
There's really not a lot of them, if you think about it. The Deer Hunter was pretty deep. It was about some guys
probably,
from Vietnam.
Moby Dick or something like that.
The Moby Dick's a classic. It's epic, you know.
That's hunting, you know, he's hunting a whale.
I thought it was a book.
Moby
They
Dick
made a movie.
Well, there's several movies. One's got Gregory Peck in it.
Yeah.
He's
Gregory
Captain
Peck.
Ahab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was that? There's a Jeff Daniels movie that was about hunting.
Jeff Daniels was a Chelsea, Michigan native. That's why Kurt knows
I
him
got
so
a good
good.
hunting movie for you. Yeah, I got a great
Cabana in the Moonlight.
Okay, a great hunting movie is The White Buffalo.
Oh, yeah, Charles Bronson. That's a classic.
No, it's not Charles. It's
Charles.
No. Oh, shoot.
Pretty sure it's Charles.
No.
Charles Bronson.
Mm-mm.
You've never seen this movie
Ain't
before?
that pitiful?
No.
I'll have to get it for you.
Yeah, put it on.
Kurt McDaniel's the one that introduced it to me. It's good.
Google White Buffalo and see who played it. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it's that other great actor. I just can't think of it. He's played in everything.
That White Buffalo make that sound, you know, the movie. See if it ain't Charles Bronson.
Charles Bronson and
The White Buffalo. That's Charles. I thought it was.
Charles Bronson. Let me see a picture of it.
Yeah.
Stars Charles Bronson, Jack Warden,
Yes,
Will
Charles.
Sampson.
Okay, I thought you was talking about the one that played in.
Charles Bronson.
That's who I'm talking about.
Yeah, White Buffalo, Charles Bronson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that big buffalo. It's a huge one.
Yeah.
He's got a rifle, son. He shoots far out of it, and they can't never kill it, you know. And it makes the awfulest roar, Don. You remember that? And here it'll come a charge, and it wipes everybody out. Grandpa Walton's name was Zeb, Courtney Montgomery Crace said.
Zeb
Walton.
Zeb.
I typed in top hunting movies, and it's like Predators and stuff like that.
So, you know,
Target.
What did they say at the end of every Walton's episode? I know Don knows. I'll see if you know.
I have no idea.
Good night, Mary. Good night, John Boy. Everybody said good night.
I've heard good night, John Boy. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Good night, Grandpa.
So that's from the Waltons. I don't even ever watched the Waltons. I know what it is, but I ain't never watched it.
My mama used to love the Waltons.
Right here looks like a hunt movie. Turkey Shoot.
Turkey Shoot?
Yeah,
no, see, that's one of them crazy ones. In a
Grizzly.
dystopian future. Oh, Night of the Grizzly. Good movie.
That's a good.
That's Gregory Peck. Night of the Grizzly. No, that's Clint Walker. Clint
Walker.
The Gray. That's supposed to be good.
Yeah.
The Gray.
That big guy. The
I've watched that now. They are. I've watched that right here. The Gray. He's a hunter, professional hunter in Alaska, and he's hunting, keeping wolves off of oil workers, and their plane crashes, and he's one big wolf, and he ends up making him a shotgun shell into like a pipe.
Yeah,
boom, he hits that wolf and smokes
I remember that. That was a good. I watched that in the theaters.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Well, we got any slang words tonight?
Slang words.
Got any hillbilly terminology?
Yeah.
Guys, we just all over the place on here. Like I said, we just talk about stuff.
We don't ever rehearse.
We don't get excited.
Yeah.
What you got?
We ad-lib a lot. A lot.
Shoot some words to us.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can come up with.
Man was asking us earlier some trivia.
Some good trivia questions. That'd be good.
Do you know who Bill Dance is?
Yes, son, listen. Don't get into it with me on trivia.
All right. Bill Dance. What was his favorite school?
School?
College.
Fish.
College.
Fished.
Remember the hat he wore all the time?
Tennessee.
There you go.
Son, listen, don't even start.
I mean, we went over a lot of these words before.
What you got?
What about hankering? Yeah, have we done that one?
You know what it means, John?
Hankering?
Like if you had a hankering for a pepperoni pizza?
Like I'm craving a pepperoni pizza.
Right.
Hankering is like a want to
craving,
or something. Like a craving.
Yeah.
What else?
What was the famous actor's name, John, that said on his show, and it was a famous show in the 60s, "Who loves you, baby"? Guys, comment if you know that out there.
It's in the 60s. It says, "Who loves you?"
70s.
60s, 70s.
70s, for sure.
God, I don't know.
Bald-headed.
Well,
and he played in the Dirty Dozen.
The Honeymooners?
Yeah. Honeymooners?
He played
in the Dirty Dozen.
He played in Clint Eastwood something movie, I can't remember.
Kojak. Telly Savalas.
Savalas. His name was...
All right, here's a trivia for you. This same guy
What was his first name?
Telly, wasn't it? But it was really like a big, long...
Kojak's first name.
Oh, yeah. Napoleon or something. It was something crazy, like a Greek name. This guy played in Support Your Local Sheriff, and he plays as Jimmy Rockford. And he's Amanda's heartthrob. She thinks he's the best-looking man ever.
Oh, he's big. He always gets the girl.
Yeah.
And whatever he plays in.
Here's an Appalachian word, sot. I've never heard of that one. Sot. You ever heard of sot?
Well,
a sot is
Sot is like a drunk.
A drunk. That's the way I would think, yeah.
I've heard it referred to like that.
The internet says he's sot in his ways, won't change his mind.
Oh, like set?
Yeah, set. Be same thing.
Thought that was an interesting one. We got...
Except for somebody out there.
Somebody throw one at us or something. We'll tell you what it is.
Madder than a wet hen, I like that.
Madder than a wet hen, yeah, that's a classic.
I've never seen a wet hen mad, so there you go. What is it?
Madder than a wet hen?
I mean, I've never seen a wet hen that was ever mad.
Lord, I've seen some mad hens.
I'll tell you have.
Raring hen's teeth.
Raring hen's teeth.
You know why they say that one, John?
Oh, that's a new one.
Hen ain't got no teeth.
That's true.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's see.
Tony, if a rooster crawled on top of a house and it laid an egg, which side would it fall off on?
Well, depending on which side of the house it is. Is it on the peak?
Oh, you got him, John.
Rooster don't lay an egg, John. Wise butt, you got me. Rooster don't lay an egg.
I got you.
Hey, my papa, speaking of that, he had one time, we're pretty sure, well, we know because they took it to UK and had it tested, he had a chicken and a duck that crossed. Truth.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard Bob's called and told me about the Chucky.
A cock-a-doodle quack.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Quack.
Pancho always says, well, kiss a pig.
Speaking of chickens and crowing, do you think, what would you do if your chickens started crowing like at midnight?
You get rid of them, bad omen.
That's what we always did.
Yeah, and listen, the worst thing is if a hen crows, then you got a problem.
Yeah, you got his death, doom, and gloom, and despair, agony on me.
I've never heard that.
Deep dark depression, excessive misery.
I always heard like if a bird comes to your window or something.
That too,
a bad
yeah.
sign too.
Yeah.
Somebody might die.
Yeah.
Bird gets in the house.
My brother Harless, he killed every chicken we had because rooster started crowing a couple of weeks, about 12 o'clock, and my sister got in a real bad accident and stayed in a coma, almost died. And we thought she was going to die, so he killed every chicken we had, and we never ate one. He buried them.
Yeah, Harless. That's a good story about Harless I want to tell right quick. So,
My oldest brother.
James Arness played Support Your Local Sheriff in Rockford. No, that was James Gardner.
Gardner.
James Arness was Marshal Matt Dillon in Gunsmoke. But
good guess.
Yeah, James Gardner. You got the first name right.
Yeah.
Harless, I'd go up to Don's and hang out with Don when I was young, and Don's mom and Harless lived right next to her, and he'd walk over there and jaw with us, and I'd take my shoes off when I go in the house. One day I had a pretty pair of white socks on.
Now, Harless was a little bit different.
Yeah, son, he got down and went to looking at them. So, you care if I look at your socks? I said, well, no, Harless. Well, take one off. Let me look at it. I said, okay. So I take my socks off. Where you get socks like that at? I said, I don't know. I guess Walmart's, Harless. And he said, well, I'd give anything to have a pair of socks like that. I said, son, all right. I hadn't thought no more of it. Well, next time I was over at Walmart, I seen him. I got him a pack of socks. So I go back over there, of course, walk in, me and Don. Listen, you'd have thought I'd have give him a new shotgun for Christmas. He was tickled to death. I'll never forget that if I lived
He
in
never
home.
liked very few
He
people
liked me, though, didn't
that
he?
he liked, but he liked Tony, and he said he did.
He'd say, now, you say, I'm going to be honest with you. He'd say, I don't like very many people, but I like you. You're a pretty good big boy. That's what he said. Who first played Festus? Let's see. It would have been the limping one. No, the first played Festus. That wasn't Festus. That's Chester. It was Ben. It was the guy that sung for the Pioneers, the Sons of the Pioneers. Don, what was his name? That first played Festus. Ken Curtis was the one played him. Let's see. Was it Ben Johnson?
I don't know. I thought Festus was his own character.
No, there was one that played him. She's right. It was before Ken Curtis came to Festus. It was, but it was a pretty famous actor.
Well, the guy that walked with a limp was
that was Chester.
Yeah,
that was Bruce. Not Bruce Dern, but
he played on the movie called The Duel.
The Duel, yeah, Bruce.
And he played McLeod in the series, and I can't think of his name.
McLeod? Detective McLeod, yeah.
Yeah, but what was his name?
Dennis
Weaver.
Dennis Weaver.
Yeah.
First played Festus would have been...
I don't know.
Maybe Ben Johnson would be my guess. I can't remember, but it was one of the... Tell us, Leslie, who it was. So we'll know. I can't... But I do know there was an original Festus before Ken Curtis. I'm a Western trivia type of dude, I watch a lot of Westerns.
Why did they call them... Why did they... call the Westerns in the late 60s and 70s spaghetti Westerns?
Because they was made in Italy.
There you go.
Cheapos.
Why was they made in Italy?
Cheaper.
And the Westerns, everything went to cop shows and hospital shows here in the United States. Westerns wouldn't sell.
They kept cranking out the Western. And for all of you Western fanatics out there, if you like spaghetti Westerns, and... Westerns made in Italy, and you've never watched the My Name Is Nobody series, the Trinity series. Those are the funniest Westerns that you'll ever watch in history. And they say, my name is Nobody, and he goes up and he gets off the train, and they're in the porter John of the time at the train. This old feller, he's probably his prostate bothered him, I guess, and he's having a time of going, peeing. So he starts whistling. Old Trinity does it. And he whistles him through it, and then he'd start peeing, then he'd stop, he'd start whistling. Then he'd start peeing again, so he whistled him on through it.
I'll have to try that. Will you call and whistle to me, Tom?
Get you some reading material, son, so hum yourself. John, what's your favorite Western of all time?
Oh, God. I'm trying to remember some here. Tombstone's a good one. The Good, Bad, and the Ugly is a classic.
Oh, it's Clint Eastwood. Yeah, that's spaghetti Western.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
Western. I love that one. That was a good one. I'm trying to think of some more. What's some of the more famous John Wayne ones?
The famous John Wayne? Oh, there are so
famous.
many.
more famous ones. I ain't watched a lot of them. I've watched a little.
True Grit.
Yeah, that's the later ones. The
Grit's
Cowboys.
supposed to be good. I don't think
Big Jake.
McClintock.
Rooster Cogburn. Cahill, U.S. Marshal. Sons of Katie Elder. Rio Lobo. Rio Bravo. Fort Apache. I mean, there's all kinds. Hunt of the Red Witch.
It's hard. I don't know.
But here's one I've never heard. Off like a herd of turtles.
That means you ain't getting in a hurry, I would assume.
I've never heard that. Anybody use that?
No, I never heard that.
See, my dad, he wasn't that nice about it. He'd kick me in the hind end and say, "You're stuck in first gear. Find another gear." That's what he'd say. Yeah.
Had you all out there got some hillbilly words throw at us?
Yeah, give us some of the localized words right quick before we log off tonight, and we can try to see if we've heard them. Heard. Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
My wife's from over in the northern part of the United States, plumb over in Johnson County, and she tells me my
uppity people.
She tells me my accent is very thick.
Thick.
That's what she says. Thick.
Everywhere I've ever worked, they've always said
slow and.
They always said you're full of cornbread. That's what they say.
I normally am. You know, I ate soup beans. I ate soup beans at least 6 days a week, and then I go home and I top them off with some boiled pickled quail eggs and chicken eggs.
I bet it's windy to hell.
Listen, son. Oh my God, you can't imagine. But you know that's part of it. But the doctor says I need the protein.
Well, speaking of that, let me get into that. They say now that smelling your own, whatever you call them, is good for you.
Flatulence.
It's good for you. Something in it is good for you. Whole body.
Is that the right word, John? Flatulence?
Flatulence?
You can read up on it.
I feel like that's the proper
Christopher Cody Allen. You're the wordsmith.
So look it up.
Is flatulence the proper term for passing gas?
But that's
or having gas.
That's the new big thing.
I never heard of that.
What's the proper?
There you go. I mean, everybody can look that up now and tell me what it is. It's the methane, I think.
Yep, flatulence. The proper term. It refers to the release of gas from the digestive system through the rectum. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Purgatory. You seen it, John? Somebody commented on here, Purgatory. You seen it, Don?
Yeah.
It's a good Western.
Movie.
I watched, of course, Tombstone and Outlaw Josie Wales. I was watching Outlaw Josie Wales the other night, and these two bushwhackers, they'd crossed the river, and the boy was shot. He was laying there, and Josie was there, and these two bushwhackers slipped up on him, and holding guns on him, and the boy faked them out, and he shot one of them, and Josie shot the other. The army was after Josie, and they had all their horses and all the men on a raft, and it was a pull raft. You pull yourself across the river, and old Josie just took his rifle and scope, took his time, and boom, he shot that rope, cut it with that rifle. Well, they start floating down the river, and he said, "There, kid," he said, "that's what you call a Mississippi River swim."
Yeah.
But anyway, them bushwhackers was laying there, shot, and they get on their horses, and he said, "Now, come on, kid," and he said, "Josie, I wish we could bury these fellers." He said, "Hell with them." And on down the road they went on.
And we use this saying on each other all the time. They was two guys that trapped him in the woods, and that there's like old hillbilly people, that one that said, "Watch him lodge."
Watch him lodge. Yeah, that's the same scene.
We say that to each other now.
Yeah.
And everything that happened.
That's that same scene. There was two of them. The one's name was Lige, and he'd say, "Watch him lodge." And that, "Shut up back there," he'd say. And he was behind him, had two old muskets, And the one in the front and the one in the back was paranoid. He said, "They say he's fast with them pistols. Watch him lodge." And he'd say, "Shut up back there. I got this under control."
Of course, he killed them both.
Yeah, and then the kid, same scene, Don. The kid goes, "Josie, I wish we had time to bury them fellers." He said, "Hell with them." And
that's it, yeah.
We watched that last night.
Okay, I'm going to get deep on you again and see if anybody out here in Facebook land knows anything about this. This is probably more real than my dream. I have had a number, it's 542, that has followed me for 40 years now. I would say if I look at a clock or if I look at anything, over half the time, it's too much to be a coincidence, the number 542 will be what I'm looking at. Now, is there anything like that? Somebody do some research and let me know.
I seen Joyce McDaniel on here, Don, and that's where she lives, 542.
I mean, we've all been
have an insight.
We've all been on 542. That's Route 542. But I mean, it happened to me, and I like to know if there anything to it, or should I be worried or happy, or there you go.
So the top Western movies, we'll go through the top 10 real quick, see if you guys have heard them. Horizon, the American Saga. Never heard that one. Killers.
Yes, I've seen that
the
one.
Flower Moon.
Seen that.
The Django Unchained. I didn't
Seen
know
that one.
I didn't know that classified as a Western.
That's a Western, yeah. Slave. It's like a slave setup.
That
Yeah,
movie's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Django.
Tombstone, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
Yeah. Bone Tomahawk. Hey, listen, guys. If you're a Western fanatic and you've not seen Bone Tomahawk, you need to watch
With
it.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Nope.
Hey?
Nope. You're talking about The Missing. This is with Kurt Russell.
Oh, Kurt Russell. Okay.
So, Bone Tomahawk.
That's awesome.
Let me give you a quick synopsis of. Is that the right word, John? Kodo. Synopsis, the correct word here?
Kodo.
Kodo.
Bone Tomahawk. They're in a frontier town. And there's this band of Indians that lives out from the town, and they're like cave dwellers, like cavemen. One tribe of Indians. So,
and they're white. They paint their
Yeah. And so a couple outlaws run up on
I gotta watch that.
Run up on their ground, and they wound one of them, and they track him into the town. Well, they come into the town and kidnap a bunch of people. So old Kurt Russell's the sheriff, and he's got to go after them. Listen, it's a little gory. But it's no more gory than Django. It's the same type. I think it's directed by the same person as the Django Unchained.
It's by Craig Zahler.
Oh, I think it's Quentin Tarantino.
Quentin Tarantino does Django.
But it's a good movie. If you're a Western fanatic, you need to watch
awesome.
Bone Tomahawk. What's the next one, John?
The next one, Last of the Mohicans.
It's a good one. That's a classic.
The Hateful Eight. That's a good one.
That's the same as.
You talk about
that's the same setup as.
Gory. I don't like.
Yeah, that's the same setup as Bone
Kurt
Tomahawk.
Russell too.
Same actor, same director. It's the same setup.
Wind River.
Pretty good.
Hell or High Water.
That's a good one.
Horizon, American Saga.
I don't know what that one is.
I don't either. Continuation of one of the settlement.
The Magnificent Seven. Both of those were good.
That's
yeah,
a good one.
Magnificent Seven.
Unforgiven.
Oh, Unforgiven. He walks in there and he says,
1992.
Who's the owner of this establishment?
Little Bill.
Yeah, and he's got a double-barrel shotgun, and this one old fellow named Greeley. He speaks up, my name's Greeley. He said, what thinks you ought to give you the right? No. So he just pops up with that double, boom, he blows old Greeley away. He said, that Sheriff Little Bill said, you just shot an unarmed man. He said, well, you ought not have decorated the entrance of his saloon with my friend. He said, I'm here to kill you too, Little Bill. He said, you're William Money, killer of women and children. He said, yeah, I've killed about everything that crawls, Little Bill, and I'm here to kill you. I love that movie.
And the gun snaps. And Little Bill says, misfire.
And then he throws that shotgun, hits Little Bill with it, and draws his pistol. And all them gunfighters, or whatever they are, John, they're trying to fast draw, and they're shooting holes all over the place, and he just drops down on his knee and just takes his time and aims and picks them off. What else we got? Oh, 310 to Yuma, that's a classic.
I ain't watched it, but I heard it's good.
That's an old one and a new one.
There's an old one and a new one. Glenn Ford and Russell Crowe.
Legends
Glenn Ford in the original, Russell Crowe in the remake.
And
the Revenant. Revenant, that's the one with.
Revenant's pretty solid.
I didn't know that was a Western.
Can't remember who was
it's
the
about
other star in that one.
Hugh Glass, that's what it's based on, was a mountain man.
Yeah.
And he got attacked by a grizzly, and his buddies left him.
Leo DiCaprio finally got his Oscar.
Well, he got attacked by a grizzly, and his buddies.
That's an old movie too.
Yeah, his buddies left him, so he tracks and crawls his way all the way back to civilization. Mm-hmm. What else we got? We're running out of time. I hate running out of time. We're so
The
thick
Dark Tower, The Thickest.
I ain't seen them.
The Devil's Rejects.
I ain't seen
that was a horror movie.
Few dollars more. That's a classic.
What thing coming up?
Magnificent Seven, Dance with the Wolves,
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles. That's the funny
classic.
one, right?
Yeah, that's a comedy.
That's a comedy one. True Grit.
High Plains Drifter's a classic. That's Clint.
Hostiles.
That's
the
a good
Ballad
one.
Of Buster Scruggs.
Ain't seen that.
That's crazy.
Six
You seen it,
Tales.
John?
Yeah. It's crazy.
2018, dude.
Quick and the Dead's a little different. It's an acquired
The
taste.
Forever Purge.
Yeah.
A Fistful of Dollars. That's supposed to be good.
That is good. That's Clint.
$2 more.
Unholy Trinity, Cowboys and Aliens, The Power of the Dog, Wild Wild West.
Guys, next episode, Lord willing, when we get around to it, we'll watch some of these westerns and we'll do some western reviews.
Well, we didn't have anything to eat tonight. I mean,
no food tonight, and the reason being, I can't lie, because me and Don went to Long John's.
Is that what the reason was?
He just didn't even bring me none.
Well, wait, I mean,
I've got some leftovers out there.
Yeah, John, go through our sponsors, the beautiful people.
Yep. Anything coming up we need to announce or anything?
I know Kentucky basketball's supposed to be on tonight. It's probably on right now for all I know.
I know Avian's having Christmas on the farm.
Okay. That's over at the Feed and Tack.
Yeah, and of course, anybody out there that needs Santa Claus, we have our very own farmhouse Santa Claus. They call him Ronnie Stump Grinder Montgomery, and he is a Santa Claus. He does it all over the place. He's an outstanding. Don calls him Stumpzilla. He's an outstanding Santa Claus. He does a good job.
He's been Santa Claus for many years.
He's got Mrs. Santa Claus too, Kathy. You know, they've got the outfit.
If you need a Santa Claus, just
reach out to Kathy Montgomery on Facebook, and I know they've already got a bunch of bookings, but they'll try to hook you up. John, run through our
Creekside Trekked Outdoors, Granny Made Cheesecake, Appalachia TCG, Jessica D. Williams Photography, Parkway Peddlers Mall. Yeah, let's see, there's one more. Sloan's Chiropractic.
Yeah.
So,
and we appreciate y'all so much.
If you need to get a crack of your back, call Zach.
Oh yeah.
All right. Jessica D. Williams, great photographer.
I think she come back. She took a hiatus of photography.
God bless y'all, and tune back in and let me know on that 542 number.
Let Don know, guys. Do some research. Search your heart, search your soul, search your mind. Do some research, and let the Wolfman know what's up with 542. He's
with that reoccurring number that follows me all the time.
John, what else you got? Anything new? Got the card shop going on. For any of you out there that play the card games, you know, Pokemon or Magic
the Gathering and Flesh and Bloods are two big games.
Yeah,
Pokemon.
Well, but you'll let anybody play anything.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you want to play the Warlocks and Dragons or whatever.
We even got the new Disney game Lorcana. I've not played it though.
What's the Warlocks and Dragons they play? Dungeons and Dragons. If you want to play that, John hosts card nights down here on Saturday nights pretty frequently, and anybody is welcome to come. And listen, if you want to come and play Rook, I mean, you know, any kind of card game, it's, you know. Also,
we got Rook Uno cards. I got Uno. Everybody's been looking for these Uno Beetlejuice cards. I got some of them coming.
Don't say it, he'll show up.
The new Beetlejuice. I can't say it 3 times, can I?
No, don't say it 3 times. It's huge E.
Huge E. But anyway, John is going to host a Rook tournament down
That's
here.
going to be epic.
And it's going to be based to bring your own partner. Of course, we're going to have cameras up everywhere for those sticky things.
We're going to have uniform, like refs or something.
Yeah, we'll have cameras up watching about cheating and that sort of stuff. But we're going to have a big Rook tournament.
Can you and Don be beat though?
Oh, I can't play in. I'm going to help you host.
Oh, okay.
It'll have to be.
Don, you going to play in it?
It's hard to win, man. There's so many people that plays together.
We will have a
knows
huge,
everything you got.
A huge Rook tournament. Probably within.
I'll be in it. You know.
I think we'll do we'll do an entry fee, and then winner take half the prize or whatever.
Say we do it in November. There's a card show in Johnson Central High School this Saturday. I'm going. Then there's a card show at the Appalachian Mountains Arena. I'll be doing that the 9th.
Okay.
And after that, it'll be free again.
Okay. But
you know, if I should win, I'll give mine to something around here, the Kids for Christmas, Coats for Kids, or whatever.
And we may do something like that. You know, the Coats for Kids is always a good thing. And we may do we may have some kind of a tournament, me and you host, to raise money for the Toys for Kids drive for Christmas. Awesome. And I know, like out in North Carolina, I'm sure
we'll let the farmhouse do something, you know.
Yeah, we'll do something. Me and John will do something together to raise money for the Toys for Kids.
What about me?
Don, you're the farmhouse. You're here every day. You're part of it. But we'll do something.
Here we go.
You're late, and they throw you up.
No, Don's part of the farmhouse. He's the face of the farmhouse. He's your.
Oh yeah.
Treat you worse than Andy does Barney.
Oh yeah. I know how Barney feels. He said a wink is the same as a nod to a blind mule.
Oh, maybe think right quick, and then we'll get off here. When the the old crook was stealing people's cattle.
Yeah.
And they couldn't figure out. They was trying to figure out how it was going on. They sent detectives in from the city and everything on the Andy Griffith Show, and that old boy was putting boots on him, John.
Yeah, on the cows.
And it looked like two men just walking out.
And then that
was a classic.
They was all going crazy, and Andy said that all the tractors here but the cow.
Oh, shoot.
But anyway, yeah, we got a lot going on. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully in the not this next week, but the week after, I think we're going to try to move back to Thursdays at some point because I know a lot of people go to church on Wednesday night, so we'll move back to Thursdays. And thank you all for tuning in.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all. We have fun with this, and it's something to look forward to, and just God bless y'all.
God bless y'all. Take care of yourself, and if you need anything, we're here. Any kind of announcements, we're here. One more thing, and then we'll get off here. If you need any kind of tech work, if you're having internet problems at home, your computers, whatever, this man right here can fix you up. They call him Big John the Computer Man.
Oh, yeah.
I think you set up printers. You can do anything of that nature. Work on laptops. He doesn't primarily work on phones. I know I've been telling him he should.
Too aggravating.
Because everybody's got phones.
They don't
now.
make them where you can work on them hardly
but
anymore.
Any kind of computer problem, printer issues, router issues, he can take care of you. Give him a shout. Look him up online, techholler.com. God bless you. Have a good evening.
See you guys.